Paul Pogba suffers another injury setback after rejoining Juventus. Paul Pogba's second spell at Juventus has suffered yet another setback. The Frenchman has suffered a fresh muscle injury, which will resign him to another spell on the sidelines. As reported by 442, Juve's board is fed up with Pogba's unavailability and is considering cancelling the player's contract altogether. Pogba has only played for 35 minutes since rejoining the Italian giants. Juventus now face an uncertain future and will need to part ways with some high-income players if they want to tackle their financial woes. Considering Pogba's continued injury and high salary, ending his future at Juventus would make a lot of sense. Pogba re-signed for Italians on a free transfer after being released from United in the summer. According to The Sun, Pogba regretted that he went to Juventus and wants to return to Manchester again, but many Manchester United fans do not want to see him again. It is even said that Pogba would agree to go to Manchester for a very low wage. So what's your opinion on this? Would you like Pogba to return for a very low fee? Fabrizio Romano explained, Manchester United have been following Porto goalkeeper Diogo Costa for months. Speaking to the United Stand, Fabrizio Romano explained that he regularly watches the performances of Manchester United's Porto goalkeeper, Diogo Costa. The Red Devils currently have David De Gea as the undisputed choice in goal, and talks are already underway over a new long-term contract with the Spaniard. Despite this, United continues to be associated with goalkeepers, and for the past few months Costa has been constantly mentioned by Portuguese channels. Romano revealed that the Red Devils have been tracking the 23-year-old since September or October. The well-known journalist revealed that Brentford's David Raya will take the same stance and would not be surprised if De Gea remains the club's number one next season. The Spaniard has also gifted possession in the final third lately. Despite this, he continues to receive the full backing from manager Erik ten Hag and is likely to stay as the number one. Manchester United preparing €120 million bid for Eintracht Frankfurt striker Randal Kolo Muani. Manchester United are ready to pay €120 million to sign Eintracht Frankfurt striker Randal Kolo Muani in the summer, German news agency Bild reported. The Red Devils want a new striker at all costs ahead of next season. However, a deal was rejected for Tottenham Hotspur striker Harry Kane and they are looking elsewhere. Manchester United are interested in Kolo Muani and will lift any hurdles to get him. The French football player is expected to leave the Bundesliga at the end of the season. Kolo Muani recorded 16 goals and 14 assists in all matches with Frankfurt. He was part of the French team that played in the final of the World Cup held in Qatar last year. They reckon the 24-year-old could hit the ground running in the Premier League, and it is easy to see why. Paris Saint-Germain is also following Kolo Muani and more clubs will likely join them. His contract ends in 2027 and Frankfurt would love to hold on to him beyond the summer. So what is your opinion on this subject? Would you like to see Kolo Muani in Manchester? Manchester United are considering a new contract for him before loaning Facundo Pellistri. Famous journalist Fabrizio Romano has claimed that Manchester United are considering a new contract offer for Facundo Pellistri before sending him on loan next season. The 21-year-old has had a tough season under manager Erik ten Hag and only made his first team debut in January this year. He provided an assist off the bench against Charlton Athletic. There is no progress at the moment, but there will be concrete talks on Pellistri's future in April. We've seen how Amad Diallo has developed in Sunderland. The 20-year-old got off to a rough start but has since contributed to the championship with 8 goals and 2 assists. Ten Hag might opt for something similar for Pellistri so that he can perform without the pressure of expectations. This will of course depend on the contract status. The young player's current contract does not expire until June 2025, with an option for 1 more year. If he does not renew his contract, the club may consider leaving permanently. Pellistri, who has been praised as spectacular by compatriot Ronald Araujo, is already an established player for Uruguay. He made his debut last year and has 10 caps. Journalist doesn't believe Erik ten Hag will keep Wout Weghorst. Wout Weghorst has been praised and criticized almost equally since joining Manchester United on loan from Burnley, but most agree that the 30-year-old is not a long-term answer to United's striker woes. Weghorst has scored just 2 goals in 16 appearances in all competitions this season and is therefore expected to return to Burnley in the coming months without a permanent deal being considered. The Red Devils have been linked with Napoli's Victor Osimhen and Tottenham Hotspur's Harry Kane, among others, so Steve Bates doesn't believe Weghorst will stick around beyond the summer. And despite his lack of goals, Weghorst has high levels of industry while making more opportunities for his teammates than himself, so he's useful to Ten Hag. Fabrizio Romano believes Victor Lindelof will stay at Manchester United. Victor Lindelof, who has fallen further down the standings this season after the arrival of Lisandro Martinez, has an uncertain future at Manchester United. But Fabrizio Romano believes Erik ten Hag will keep the 28-year-old at Old Trafford for at least another year. Lindelof made only 5 Premier League appearances in the 2022-23 season and spent most of the season on the bench. Ten Hag chose Rafael Varane and Lisandro Martinez as centre-backs and left the Swedish international on the bench. Atletico Madrid and Inter tried to sign Lindelof in January but were unsuccessful. Romano doesn't believe the two clubs will return this summer and insists Ten Hag doesn't want to cash out. Lindelof has made 20 appearances in all competitions this season, but most of his starts have come in Europe and the domestic cups rather than the league, as he doesn't have the manager's trust. The 28-year-old played in 5 of United's 6 group games in the Europa League, but became an unused substitute in the later stages. Anthony Elanga has golden chance to impress Erik ten Hag after Alejandro Garnacho's injury. Manchester United young star Anthony Elanga has a golden chance to impress manager Erik ten Hag after Alejandro Garnacho's injury. Garnacho suffered an ankle injury and will be out for several weeks after Southampton's Kyle Walker-Peters intervened on Sunday. This is obviously a huge blow for the Red Devils. The Argentine has produced several match-winning moments off the bench and his void won't be easy to fill. But United have a lot of talented youngsters on their roster, and we think Elanga has a chance to perform in the absence of Garnacho. The €25 million rated star had an impressive breakout season under interim boss Ralf Rangnick, but he has fallen down the pecking order this term under Ten Hag. Currently, the 20-year-old doesn't seem to be a Ten Hag favorite and was rumored to be going on loan to Borussia Dortmund in January. There are still suggestions he could be on loan next season, and Elanga need to capitalize on their minutes here to regain the manager's confidence. Marcel Sabitzer returns to Manchester United training ahead of the Real Betis match. Sabitzer has missed the last 2 games of the Red Devils due to an unspecified injury. Manchester United return to action tomorrow, and the Bayern Munich loanee could be available for selection. Jadon Sancho might be about to get a chance in the position Manchester United signed him for. Sancho is becoming accustomed to taking on instructions from Ten Hag and his coaches, given the versatility he has been showing since he returned from his 3-month layoff at the start of February. Against Southampton on Sunday, he started a game in the number 10 position, having been used there off the bench. He can cover both flanks and the attacking midfield role, allowing for a variety of substitutions, including replacing Wout Weghorst and allowing Rashford to go through the middle.